So we're going to draw a mesh in SOLIDWORKS using linear pattern. The mesh has a diameter of 4mm wire and it's got an opening size of 75mm. So we'll start on the right plane by first sketching a centre line. So we'll sketch from there and we'll go vertical. We know we're vertical because that little yellow thing comes up. And we'll make it 79, enter. And then we'll sketch a circle and we'll use the origin as the centre point of the circle and we'll make that 4mm. It's fully defined and we're in millimetres, grams and seconds, and we'll say OK. So what we'll do is we'll select that sketch, and with that sketch selected we'll go to features, and what we've done is we've made that 600 long. We can make the piece of material a bit of wire any size, like 800, by typing in 800, hitting enter, or 600, so we'll go back to 600, enter. And what we're going to do is we're going to do something a little bit different here. We're going to go to direction 2, and instead of making that 600, we're going to go 79, and say OK. So what that does is it takes that circle, and in this direction it's 600, but in that direction it's 79, like the end bit hanging out the wire, and we'll say OK. So what we want to do now is we want to use, with a boss extrude selected, we want to use the linear pattern. And the direction in the linear pattern, you can see the dimension there of our centre line, so we'll pick on that and that'll give it its direction. But we won't use the features to pattern. We'll right hand click in there and we'll delete that and we'll go to the bodies to pattern. And the bodies to pattern, you'll see how it's blue here, and it's a solid surface bodies to pattern. We'll pick on this and then we'll say OK. And there you can see, if I zoom in or out, you can see that we're starting to get our mesh. So what I'm going to do is carry on sketching, and I'm going to sketch the other part of the mesh. So I pick on sketch, and what I want to do is I want to sketch a centre line, but this time I want to do it on a different plane. So I'm going to go to the top plane this time, and I'm going to just drag that plane out. You actually don't have to drag the plane out, but in this case I will. And I'm going to sketch a centre line, and I'm going to use the same start point, same origin. This time I'm going to come out here. See how that's yellow? I'm going to come out 4mm. Then I'm going to come down here in this direction. See how that again is yellow? I'm going to make sure it is yellow. And I'm going to come down there 79. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to circle. Just going to zoom in. I'm going to make sure that the centre of the circle is on that point and that it has a diameter of 4mm. It's fully defined, so we'll say OK. We'll do a rebuild. So with that sketch selected, what we're going to do is we're going to go to features and we're going to use the same height, 600, but remember how we used the direction 2, so we'll pick that, and it normally defaults to the same as what the other one is, but in this case we're going to make it 79, hit enter, and say OK. Zoom out a bit. So you start to see the mesh in the other direction. So with that boss extrude number 5, or extrude 5, we'll go to the linear pattern, and with the direction 1, see how it's in blue, we'll pick on that 79. That will tell it which direction to go in, but again we won't use the features to pattern, so I'll right hand click in there and delete that. We'll go to the bodies to pattern, and the bodies to pattern, see how it's blue, we'll pick on that and we'll say OK, and then we'll do an F to fit, and there's our mesh, and we'll save that and call it mesh.